Now, you all know, you all remember how we got here, right? We pulled in the data source, from the folder, and now transformed the data. Then we created our fiscal year table. Let me take it to table view. Fiscal year table in dim dates. Fiscal dim districts is already a dimension table for districts. All right. Fact stamp. We created our fiscal year in the fact stamp table. Fact transport as well. Fact transports. Okay, we are yet to create our fiscal year in fact transports. Fact TSI pass. We created our fiscal year in fact TSI pass. All right. So now in your own instance of Power BI, you may not have the map view, the custom map view. Now this is shape map, this is field map. All right. So to be able to see your custom map, you come here to options and settings. Okay, options and settings. Options and settings. Now click on options. Options is loading. Options is loading. I hope you can all still see the options, because Power BI has a way of. Please confirm if you can see the options page. Okay, you can. Good. Olamineko can. Good. So you now go to just one moment. You now go to, I'm looking for where my map is, and you will now activate the map type so that you'll be able to get your map visual. Now, why I'm saying that is because of the JSON file that we're using. The JSON file is the map of the region of Telangana, which we are working with. I already have it activated on my own Power BI model, but on your own particular Power BI model, you will not have it activated because you're doing it for the very, very, very first time. Okay. So once this is activated, you can see it. You now say okay, and then you would have the shape map showing here. Now, I've clicked on the shape map visual. Let me drag it here. Okay. One moment. Yeah. Let me shift this thing to this. This thing is disturbing. Let me just reduce it. Good. Now this is the shape map visual. The option to add import visual from file. Imports. Now going to where I have the particular visual saved on my machine. Put to all file type. .json, where are you? Okay, the JSON file is not here. So, okay, permit me to leave this particular map visual for later. Now, we'll move on to creating. Let's look at the different insights we want to create from this particular visual. Now, that is for DAX, because one of the things that we want to do is is um, build our DAX expressions. Now, if you look at, let me go to the table view now and look at facts TSI pass. Now, to do, if you can remember what we talked about. Now, this particular community, that is this particular country, Telangana. Now they want to compare the TSI pass, which was a solution or an electronic registration which they brought in to run side by side manual registration, and they want to see um, the which sectors, all right, which sector is promising, that which sector has the most amount of investment. That is why you can see what they have here. I'm looking at is fact table. Remember what we said about primary table and dimension table. So these are fact table now. The fact TSI pass has investments sectors by sector. All right, you can see all the sectors here, various sectors. If we want to see the number of sectors, we'll click on the filter view and you can see all the sectors. There are 21 sectors there. We can all count together: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, others 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Thermal is 19, 20 wood and leather. So these are various sectors from different districts. I'm trying to run us through so I will understand what the data set is. Now, as you went through the data set, you will notice that one thing that unites all this, the fact table with the dim district. This is the dim district. All right, this is dim district. Let me click on it so that it becomes visible. You can see district code in the dim district. All right, this is what connects all the fact table with whatever insight we're trying to do and whatever DAX expression we're trying to create. All right. So now that we're in the TSI pass, we're now going to start building DAX expression for the various sectors. And this is how we're going to go about it. Just one moment. Let's see fact stamp. Good, we created our fiscal year in the facts with the fact stamp. So one of the things we'll now look at now, we now want to know, okay, you could want to know the revenue of, you can see the columns here. We have documents registered, okay, document registered, documents registered, document registered, the revenue, document registered count, CNT means counts. All right, document registered revenue, REV means revenue. Then e-stamp challan counts. When I remember I made mention of e-stamp challan and the TSI pass. These are the two methods of registration that they have. So the e-stamp challan counts, e-stamp revenue. E-stamp revenue, these are various revenue numbers. Okay. So the first insight we want to see is the revenue of e-stamp challan. Okay, and now let's now go to our DAX and start creating our DAX measure. Now, to start that, you now create your enter data, because it is best practice to have your to have your to have your DAX calculations in one place. Okay, I hope we still remember how to do this. Then you now say load. So wait for Power BI to load. It's loading. Now we now have our DAX. So we'll come here, click on new measure. All right. So it now loads the DAX environment. So want to know the number, the total revenue of e-stamp challan. And so when you want to know the total revenue, who can tell me which from your Excel knowledge and from what you've done in the hotels in Lagos, what function are you going to make use of? We'll call this revenue underscore e dot stamp challan, c dot stamp underscore challan. People, what will be the function you're going to make use of? Thank you. Some, yes, yes. Uh, I can see your blinking eye. Some product is not some products, it's some. Okay, so some, okay, some open brackets. You now direct it to where you want it to take some from, because remember you have how many primary tables do you have here? Who can tell me? Better. It is three. So a round of applause for Samuel Idowu and Adebayo Mary. We have three primary tables. That is the fact stamp, fact transport, and fact TSI pass. So the e challan we are looking for is in the fact stamp table. So we're going to now direct Power BI to facts fact stamp under document registration. So just use the scroll down button, fact stamp under document registration revenue, because we are looking for sum of revenue. Okay, and then you close your brackets and you tell Power BI, you commit that I'm done. Okay, I don't like to see this column here, so let me delete column 1. Delete from model. Say yes, so that everything will be tidy. All right, so to now verify, let me just delete this. We'll come back to this later. Just delete this. So card visual, and then when you now click on this, it now shows us the number of our registration. Okay, the number of revenue, the total number of revenue. All right, now let's say you want to now know for each district. Okay, so you see, notice what I'm doing. I've clicked outside to know for each district. Now I'll click on table. All right, table. Now go to my dim districts. Before I come to dim districts, let's come back to our model view to be sure that our dim districts a relationship. Remember, if for those of you who were around at the last class, remember we now created our relationship between the dim districts and the facts and the primary table. dim districts and fact transport, dim districts and fact stamp. So now we are working in the fact stamp table. All right. So we already have a relationship with our with our district. So meaning that we can now start pulling out insights from this. So how I got here, clicked on what? Table view, and it has appeared. Now, districts. We have our districts. Okay. But instead of doing this, let me now do on that slicer. You know, part of what we do is drill down and slicer. So click outside again and slicer. But we can do this. When you click on this, all right, notice what's going to happen in this table. It now gives us, because of the relationship has been formed, it now gives us the revenue e-stamp challan of each district. Because why? Because we already have this relationship. Now, often, sometimes when we are doing when we are doing this analysis, we will not create relationship and we'll start asking questions why the whole thing is broken. So something is wrong with the data sets. Okay. So now, with a slicer now, you can now introduce your slicer. I clicked outside, slicer type. Come to your format settings. Sorry. Where is our good? Where is our? Let me click on this and click on district. Now watch what is going to happen. When you click on this, have you seen it? It tells us Abdilabad has what? 1 billion. You clear your selection. You click on this. It still says 1 billion. This one is giving us a summary. Clear your selection. Click on this, 2 billion. So this is how you work with slicer. So now let's see copy and paste, control and C, control and V. You want to see the top 5 districts. All right, top 5 districts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, top 10 districts. What do? You just switch it from here. Let me bring it down here. You just switch it from here. Okay, so that it now collates it from the top to the bottom. So this now becomes your top 5 districts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bottom 5 districts as per revenue e-stamp challan. So from one DAX, see all the insight you're gathering. I clicked on it. Always remember to click outside, click Control and V. You now reverse it. Bottom 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, two, three, four, five. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good. So one particular DAX expression has given us top 5 districts, bottom 5 districts. Before I proceed, any questions so far?
Yes, I have a question. I have two questions. The first one is,
Okay.
instead of creating a slicer separately, is it not possible we use the filter icon that is displayed on this on the first table we created, the district and revenue stamp challenge? You know, there's like, if you click on it, there's a filter icon on it. Is it not possible we use the filter icon to do the slicing instead of creating slicer separately? I don't know if you understand what I'm
Mm,
trying to ask.
yeah, I understand what you mean. No, that's from, let me go to the view, from the table view. Sorry, let me click on e-stamp. Table view, I guess this is what you mean, right? The filter option here. Can you see the fact stamp?
Yes, I can
Can
see
you see
what.
what? You can see what is showing you. You can see that what you have there is district code. You do not have the district names.
This is not
Can you
what
see that?
this is not what I'm even talking about. It's still under that report, on the report view, the reports view that where we
Report
were
view. That's
before.
here. Okay. Okay. Fine.
What I'm talking about is, you know, you created a table before you put in
Yes.
the
This table.
district.
Confirm. This table, right? Is it this table you're talking about?
Go back to the reports. Yeah,
I'm in
this
the
the
report
first
view.
table
Can
you
you view?
created after you did the calculation of the total revenue. The first table you created that is just beside that 295 billion. You can see the funnel, that this filter icon that is on the top of the video,
Yeah.
table.
Yeah. 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 No, I'm
I'm
clicking on
just
it.
asking that, what's that filter for? Can we not use it to do slice? Can we not use it for slicing instead of creating another slicer? That's
No.
one,
No.
yes.
Yeah. I get. I get. Okay. Let me click on it so you see what.
I can see you wrote there
Now
aren't
see
any
see
filter applied now, right now.
filters and slicers affecting this visual. There aren't any filter applied right now. Yes,
Yes.
filter if it depends on the use case. In our use case, the project owner would want to see, you would want to do a dash, because this is supposed to be a dashboard. So you do a dashboard in the sense that you don't know what they want to filter by. You understand?
Okay.
So instead of introducing filter, you bring out a slicer so that they can scroll through and select whatever options they want. Do you understand?
Okay. So this filter,
Because
that filter icon is not working for, like,
it's to
because you
fi-
even
it's to
wrote.
filter it's to filter the visual. In that filter, you could say you don't want Abdilabad, or you don't want Hyderabad, or a particular, you want to filter out a particular location. You understand? But that is not our use case.
Okay, that's the first thing I wanted to ask. The second one is the top five districts and the, in terms of revenue, and the
Bottom
bottom
five.
five. Yeah.
Yes.
If we want to create a visual for the top five and bottom five, because as it is
Mm.
now, I guess we just reduced the table to show just the top five and the bottom five. If we expand the
Yes.
table to show the remaining ones. So how
Yes.
do we create visual for the top five? Because what I'm thinking is, if you want to create visual with this table now, it will show all the districts. It won't just restrict it to the five that is displaying now. Or is that what it's going to show? I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. That if you
Yes.
want
If
to
you
show
scroll down,
visual,
if you scroll down, it's going to show other districts.
all right.
Yes. Yes. I get
So
what
how
you
do
mean.
we
Now, if
so
if you want to do this, it's also from DAX. You will now do limit 5.
Oh, we have to
Now,
create a
now
DAX expression.
exactly. And one thing you need to know is that when you're building your visual, another thing you should take note of, but this you should take note of much later when you get to advanced level, is the size of your file. You
All
understand?
right.
The more you start doing things that are not really necessary on your dashboard, the bigger your file becomes. And then loading time will now be a problem, because most of the people you're working with are not so patient. When they're now trying to load your file and it is taking so much time to load, what now happens? Do not say, okay, it's like this person didn't really get, or what you built for us is not working. You understand? Because the
Okay.
load time is taking so much time to load.
So what you're saying now is, if you want to create a visual to show the top five and the bottom five that you have shown on the tables here now, we have to write a
Yeah.
DAX expression for
Yes, and
it.
and you now add limit 5 to it, and then what is going to display is going to be only top 5.
All right.
So that's okay. Thank you very much. You've just given me an assignment. So do your research on DAX expression to display limit 5. Okay.
Okay.
So that will
Yeah.
be the first assignment to everybody.
All
Yes,
right.
yes, yes. You go through the DAX documentation to find that out. Some other person's hand was up. Whose hand was up? Bartholomew, your hand was up.
Good evening, sir.
Yes. Good evening.
From the conversation, what will be the ideal load time for presentation for a client?
Ideal load time. Okay. Let me ask you the question this way. What's the ideal load time of your banking app?
Okay, if the network is strong, it moves as fast as possible.
So now just bear in mind that your stakeholder would want it to act like an app. So your dashboard should behave like an app. Anything short of that, you bore your stakeholders.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
noted.
Okay, good. Another hand is up. Whose hand is up? Demo user. Demo user. Let me
Um,
hear you.
Good evening, sir.
Hello, evening.
Sorry, the question is not about
Yes.
this data set, it's about a filter. Like, let's say for this data set now, we have like three different pages.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have my filter in my page one. Now I want the filter to work for the page two and the page three without copying the filter on every page. How can I do it? Like, I want the filter to only be on page one, but it will work for page two and three.
What you're using the wrong term. The term that will be used is what you should use is bookmark. You bookmark. There's a function called bookmark. Okay, are you with
Okay,
me?
sir. Yes, sir.
There's a function called bookmark. Yes, you can do your findings on bookmark. There's a function called bookmark, so that you can call what you're calling filter is bookmark. You
Okay.
understand? You create the particular visual of page one that you want. All right,
Okay.
and then you now bookmark it. Then when you now go to your page two, you would now call up that particular bookmark. You know the way your bookmark works on your browser.
All right. Yes, sir.
Yes, that's the same way the bookmark would work on Power BI.
Okay, okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Any other questions so we can proceed? Let me share my screen and we proceed. Yes, I tried sharing it before, it didn't share, so now we're sharing. So, what other visual can we generate from this? Now we have done revenue, we've done top 5 districts. So now you may now want to say, okay, remember we're dealing with fiscal year. And let us go back to our table view and confirm that we have fiscal year in our fact TS IPAS. So good. If we have fiscal year in our fact TS IPAS. So back to the report view. Let me just reduce this. More options. We want to see, yes, slicer settings. I don't want vertical list. I want drop down. Tile will be too much. So let's do drop down. So you can see drop down is much better. Drop down, you scroll and you choose. Okay. So click down, clear selection so that everything goes back to normal. So now under the TSI pass. Now let's go to the TSI pass and see the table view now and see what TSI pass has. Now TSI pass has information just like number of employees, all right, investments in CR. Who can remember what I said about Chorus? Investment in Chorus. Okay, for want of time, what I said in Chorus is that Chorus is the unit of measurement for billions. That is in India. Unit of measurement for billions is in Chorus. So this particular thing you're seeing here, billions, we're going to create a DAX expression to show this in Chorus. Instead of billions now, it will show in what? In Chorus. Okay? So, okay, let us try that. All right? So, we're going to create what? A new expression. A new expression, and we'll call it revenue e-stamp challan chorus. Okay? Revenue e-stamp challan chorus. Once we do this, people will come to love DAX so much. So stick with me. So what did we say we're going to call revenue underscore e dash stamp underscore challan underscore chorus, okay, is equal to, follow my mouse. We want to bring this display that is showing us in billions. We want to bring it in chorus. And this is the formula. First step, we'll introduce what? A variable. We use a variable function, okay? We use a variable function. We'll call the variable revenue. Revenue is equal to, we're going to point it where it should pick its result from. So, and where should we point it to? Who can tell me? Let me know if you all learned something from your Excel class. Remember I said we want to make this to show in chorus, which is the unit of measurement for India, for billions. Okay, let me check chat. Okay. We're going to point it to here, this particular DAX expression. So this is DAX in DAX. Revenue underscore. Have you noticed what IntelliSense just did? Immediately I put in the first three letters. It now said, bros, is like you mean this, and that is what I mean. So I'm pointing it to there. Okay. and now shift and enter next screen. Remember, this is a variable. Okay. Now I'm now going to call. I'm now going to. I'm now going to. I'm now going to. I'm now going to call our variable results. All right. So variable results equal to. Now there's a function called switch. When you have multiple statements, then you introduce the switch function. So if true, this is what Power BI should do. If true, all right. If true, for the various conditions now, revenue, okay, greater than or equal to 1 billion, then and 1 2 3 1 2 3, okay, comma, round brackets, divide, we'll divide the revenue again. Remember, we just keep calling revenue because we already have our variable revenue, and this is our revenue. Here is our revenue. So revenue, divide revenue by 1 2 3 1 2 3, okay, close brackets, comma, 1, close brackets. Now we're telling it what it should display. Instead of displaying billion, this is where we are going to tell it now what to display. All right. Instead of displaying billion, okay, display the units for chorus, and the units for chorus is ER. Okay. Enter. If revenue, we're giving other conditions. Revenue is greater than or equal to 100,000. There are various units of measurements. 100,000. In India, there is lakhs, and this is for lakhs now. Units of 100,000. Round, open brackets, divide revenue, divide by what again? 100,000, close brackets. I hope people have not slept off. This is a beautiful thing about Power BI. And lakhs. Lakhs is LAKS. This. Then the final one for 1,000. We do again, revenue greater than or equal to 1,000. Okay, comma, round, open brackets, divide revenue by 1,000, close brackets, one, close the expression, and we tell it to say it is 1,000. Okay, comma, revenue, okay, enter, close the statement, enter return results. And say we are done. So now, people, watch what is going to happen now. Now we're going to bring in our card visual here. Watch the card visual. Okay? And we'll click on this. Can you see what just happened? This is the same as this. Can you all see it? So instead of it showing in billions, and instead of it showing in billions, it's showing us in the correct units. So why I'm showing us this is you may have a visual and you want to show NGN. So now that you've seen how to do it, from the logic, you will know where to include so that you know where to include your logic statement so that it will show you NGN. Because by default, this one up here is what Power BI is going to show in billions. But this is what you want it to show. Excuse me, in the particular units that an Indian project or stakeholder will understand. So that is this. So you've introduced a DAX expression, all right, where you had a variable and you called your variable to this. So it picked from this calculation, and now with the switch statements and those various conditions that were given there, it now knows, okay, this number is in billions, so it now shows it in chorus. Okay. Is anybody's hand up? Let me see if there is a hand that is up. Any questions so far before I proceed? Let me hear you.
My first question is the crone
Yes.
that you talked about. Is it
Yes.
because in the DAX expression it was 10 million you used like you because the
10.
zeros you yes 10 million.
Yes, divide by 10 million. Yes.
Okay, that's crone. All right.
Yeah.
That's the first question. Then the second one,
Okay.
the DAX expression, I think that expression is like a lot of work. Are we going to learn? Because I don't even understand. Though it is trying to show us what he wants us. Once you put in the intelligence would show, okay, this is this, and then you now tell you. But you might not really understand those, I mean, words that it is displaying. How do you, if you're not familiar with it, that means you don't, if you don't know it, you don't know it. That's what I say about it. That's what I can say about it. That's DAX expression. So is it that we have to learn those
No.
DAX expressions, or because
No.
I don't even
Now,
understand?
this thing I just did took me 2 weeks to find out. This thing I
Wow.
just did now. Yes, because it was a part this particular data set we're using. And at the end of the day, I was the only person who did this visualization to show in chorus. Every other person left it as billion, but I didn't want the card visual to be in chorus. It took me 2 weeks to
To
find
learn the DAX expressions to use. Is that what you're saying?
yes to
Wow.
get this particular combination now that I just typed out now.
Okay.
As if it is it was at the back of my head. It took me 2 weeks to add a lot of YouTube videos together, and to come up with this.
Wow.
Yes.
All right.
Questions, sir.
Thank you.
So, okay.
Questions, sir.
Yes.
Thank you for saying the fact that it took you 2 weeks.
You're welcome.
The variables, sir.
Yes.
How do we coin out the variables to use in that DAX? Because as you were putting in the variables, you are calling it out. Because it doesn't really follow up with what the system was bringing up for you. But we are the one calling it out and you are putting it into the DAX. And eventually it gives you the chorus. So how do we know how to pick the variables? I think that's what the other questionnaire was asking. So how do we pick the variables so that we can be able to get exactly the figure according to the chorus?
Okay. Now, this particular variables is based on the units of measurements that are peculiar to Indians. We have lakhs, we have chorus, and we have the third one. There are three of them. Let me just quickly go back to. Let me click outside and go back to this. Now we have lakhs, we have K, which is 1,000. We have lakhs, and we have chorus. Okay, so that is what guided what particular variable to choose here. So it depends on your use case. You understand? Now, if your use case now is NGN, you might now decide to, okay, let's do something. Okay, let me just do something so that I'll explain to us. Control and C. There is this beautiful shortcut called Control and C. Control and C. Now I'm going to add new measure. Okay, add new measure, and I'll call this measure revenue underscore Chalan, okay, underscore NGN. Okay, you see why I'm saying why I just want to explain something to you. Equals to V now here I'll now say BN NGN.
We are following, sir.
You're following, right? Good. Now here I'm now going to say K NGN, and then which other one can I use here now?
What does the key stand for, sir?
1,000
Okay.
Nigerian NGN. Okay, the first one is billion NGN. Then this one
To make it easy, sir, why not do it billion, million, and thousand?
no
Billion, million,
what we have
1,000,
here, okay, 100 NGN
each.
or 1,000 NGN. Sorry, 1,000 NGN. Okay, so I'll say okay. I'll introduce a new card visual, and then click on it. So you see what it's going to show you now. Can you see it? Can you see it? So it depends on what you tell it to do. Now, why it showed is that quotation, that double quotation, this double quote is what is a string. It's called string. Is a string you want it to display. If all this is true, based on this revenue, this variable revenue that it is picking from up here. All right. So this is a string statement. If I want it to just be NGN, that is what it's going to give me. And now we have it NGN. So depending on your use case. All right. Are we together? Hey, the class is quiet again.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
We are together, sir, but we are meditating on how to make it to.
Like I said, all this is to tell you how much work you need to put into deriving and meticulously following through, to pull out the various insights and informations you want to do. So the first assignment I gave is research on the DAX expression to limit the outputs, all right, to top 5 and bottom 5. Okay, that's the first assignment. All right. So are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes, good. So now we may want to now find out the sector. Okay, let me go to this table, the table view. Table view under fact stamp, that is by sector. Okay. Now, how many of us can remember how we introduced? Look at this table view now. We want to get something by sector. Unfortunately, we do not have it in by sectors. So one way we can do it is either through DAX, but we do not have a supporting table for sectors. Let's say, look at it now. Why I'm calling sectors is, let us go back to this fact table. See sectors. There are 20 sectors, and this is entry for number of rows 5,753. 20 sectors. So for all 20 sectors, we have 5,753. So we want to know the revenue per sector. Am I making sense? We want to know the revenue per sector. Say in paper, what is the, okay, let's say number of employee counts for paper and printing sector, number of employee counts. All right, we want to know the number of employees employed under this thing. The fastest way to do it is find the sum of employees, right? Is to find the sum of employees. That's the staff count, the sum of staff. That's one way of looking at it. And then we'll just do the sum function for number of employees. So we could do that. All right. But then again, like I said, we do not have, how do we filter by sector? So that is where you now have, so I think I should do that as another assignment. Creating a DAX to filter by sector. So when you just click on that DAX, it will give you by sector. So what I'm going to do to give us an idea, I will do staff count for fiscal year 2019. Let me do that so that you have an idea of how to filter, how to introduce a filter this thing. So let's do that. Let's do staff counts for fiscal year 2019. So introduce new measure. All right, introduce new measure and call that measure staff underscore 2019. All right, staff underscore 2019. So who wants to try and tell me what function we're going to use now before we introduce the filter function? What function are we going to use? Number of employees by fiscal year 2019. How many employees were employed in 2019? That's why we said staff underscore 2019. You know, we have five fiscal years. We have 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, four fiscal years, sorry. Sum X. All right. Because you're going to introduce a filter statement. Let me show you. So use the sum X function. Okay. Sum X. IntelliSense, I've already said which of the sum X. Is this summarize? Is this sum colon? No, sum X. Okay. We're introducing the sum X function. Now, are we filtering by? Filter what? Enter the filter where? Filter what? Where are we filtering? Remember, it's the facts TSI pass that we're working in. So we're going to facts TSI pass. Fact TSI pass, that's the table we want to filter. All right. And in that table, which column? Which column? Somebody tell me. Let me see who will get it. Which column? Beautiful. Fiscal year. Fiscal year table. Okay, so it's facts. You can see IntelliSense has already given us, and then I'll now select fiscal year. Fiscal year equal to what? Everybody say it together. Fiscal year equal to what?
2019.
2019.
Thank you. 2019. Thank you very much. Good students. 2019. 2019. You close that statement. Okay. And then what it should return. Okay. Remember, it's a sum X we did. So what is going to return now is what? Facts, TSI pass, number of employees. Okay. Those brackets. And tell Power BI that we are done. All right. So when we now introduce our card visual and click on staff number of employees, it's like there's no relationship. Hold on. Let me go out. Click on this. Number of employees, facts. Okay. So let's check the relationship. So which table were we? TSI pass, Abi? So create the relationship quickly without any further delay. sorry, cancel. Dim table. You now see why the relationship didn't work. Let's go to dim table. I was thinking I had created my facts table. Fact table. Don't worry. We will now create our facts table so that the relationship would now see why the relationship didn't work with dim table. Let's go to table view. Dim date. Sorry, why it didn't work? Fiscal year. Because it's many to many. All right. So how many fiscal years do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So create a supporting table. And this is how we create a supporting table. We'll call it dim fiscal year. Okay. So come here, enter data. We call this dim underscore fiscal year. And then name this fiscal underscore year 2019 2019 2020 2021 2022 and load. We want fiscal year. Fiscal year. Are you seeing what's happening now? It is now dim date has been able to create. So now let's now go back here. Click on our card visual. Hold on. Then with fact transports. Okay, fact transport, we're here to have a fiscal year calendar there. So here, now let's do it this way. Sum x equals to 2019. Yep. Our challenge now is the relationship which I have just created, which is this dim fiscal year. Yep. So why do you not want to work? Operation does not support comparing value, text type, value integer. Consider using a value or format to convert one of the values. Okay. So if this one refused to work, now let's do this instead. Now which one is the one that we did some function? Good. Okay. Now let's do. Come in. Let me create another visual and do the sum. Then we'll now use this because there are two ways of doing it. We'll now use the dim fiscal year. Now, sum of Now we'll call this staff number. Staff underscore number equal to sum under which term now facts. Where were we coming from? Where is the staff? That is TSI pass, right? Facts TSI pass number of staff. Okay, number of staff, close brackets, and say yes. Good. So staff number. Now you do staff number, it gives us this, and then you come down to dim fiscal year. I hope we're watching. See what I'm going to do. I'm now going to introduce a slicer. Watch this. Now see the slicer. Where is the slicer visual? So I'm supposed to have clicked outside. Slicer. Slicer. Now go to facts table. Slicer options. Slicer session option, not between. We want, should we use tile? Okay, yeah, tile is good when you're talking of year. Okay. Now, watch this. We are watching staff number. So 2019. Have you seen it? Because all the relationship has been formed. So now, declare 2021 is changing. Declare 2022, 2020. Clear. So since we're looking for 2019, you do this. Since DAX is misbehaving, 2022. So far, any questions so far? This is why once relationships are not formed, your formula will keep breaking. Okay, yes. Sorry, let me expand. Yes, Bill Case. Adebayo, why were you laughing? You're laughing at me, Abi? No problem.
Okay, my question. I want to ask,
Yes.
instead of us creating this another dim table, that dim fact fiscal year, I
That's
think there
supporting
is
table.
fiscal year. Yeah, I think there is fiscal year under dim date. If you
Yes, but
expand,
it didn't work. Yeah, it didn't work. Do you know why it didn't work? I tried to create a relationship. I did it on purpose so you guys will see it. Did you see when I tried to create a relationship? Now ask me, Oga, which relationship are you trying to create? Is it many to many relationship? See now, are you watching?
yes,
This is the dim date.
yeah, and
Okay?
there's fiscal year there.
That fiscal year here. And also here, create relationship with TSI pass. And I say, bros, see it now. Create which relationship? It's asking me a question. Where do you want to create a relationship? You understand? And why it is asking me, see the caution sign. This relationship has cardinality many to many. This should be used if it is
If it
expected
is
that
expected
neither
that neither
column
column
contains unique
contains unique
values.
value.
And that's not the
And
case.
that's
That's not what we're trying to do. Which was why I now had to now create this dimension fiscal year. You understand?
okay.
You understand? You get?
Yeah.
So that error, that caution you see was probably asking your guy, where do you want to create relationship? Dim date has many to many. And the table you're trying to, the facts TSI pass has many. So is it many to many relationship? And that will not work because we want correct reportage.
So that
Is
means
it? So
this dim date table, it doesn't have any relationship with either any of the fact tables.
remember that it's part of the data set that was given to us. See
Okay.
why I grouped it together. Dim date is a data set. Dim district is a data set. Dim fiscal year is what we created. Fact table. So we were given 3 and 5 data sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Okay.
When you go to table view to view what dim date is all about, you will see dim dates is for all the entries, for all the various dates, we created a fiscal year, so it will make sense since it's not calendar, calendar dates we're using. You understand? To give
Yeah.
us an idea of the number of quarters in our data set. Okay.
Okay, but dim district, it has relationship with the three facts tables.
Dim districts, yes, because each of the fact tables have district codes in them. You
Okay.
understand? So dim district is one-to-one relationship. And so look at it here. Dim districts,
Hold on,
dim districts is a one to many. You understand?
Okay, so each of the fact tables have the dim district, what's it called in them?
A one to many relationship with the dim district, yes. Many to one, sorry. Facts, many to one. Like you have it here. Okay. Any other question? Don't worry. This is the last of it. You just go home and work on the assignment I've given you. DAX expression to limit 5. And then who can remember? I'll give you a third assignment now. The third one. The first one is DAX expression to limit our output to 5. Okay. The second one is what? Remind me. But somebody should be a good student and remind me.
But you have
What's
done
the
it now.
second one?
It is that fiscal year.
About
He said we should count the number of employees in each sector.
yes, to filter by
Yeah,
sector.
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
filter by
Sector
sector.
by sector. Yeah. So I now decided to do
The
this
fiscal year.
DAX fiscal year. Yes, yes. So to give you an idea on how you do it sector by sector. All right.
Okay. So we should still do it
So
sector by sector.
sure now. And that's the second assignment now. Good student. Thank you for reminding
Oh.
me.
Okay.
Sector by sector. Now the third assignment is why didn't this work? Where is our DAX? Why didn't this work? Why didn't this work for our card visual? You understand? It's supposed to work, but it's not coming to my mind now why it didn't work. So find out why staff number by DAX. No, not staff number. Staff 2019. Staff for 2019. It should give us the number of staff for 2019, but it's not working. So find out why it's not working. All right. Find out why it's not working. Because it's not error. If there was something wrong with the formula, remember, as I click on commit, it will give me a question where I say, bros, please check this thing very well. So why didn't this work? So those are the 3 assignments. So before we wrap up for today, any questions? Any other question?
To answer the assignments you gave us, I think we will need the video. They should help us drop the video on time so that we'll be able to see it down to the assignments.
I know Sir Victor is here. So yes, TNTX would do well. I remember there's going to be a quiz. So those of you who abstained, like Russia and China, there is no room for abstaining next week Saturday. All right. So from me, it's good evening, and thank you for staying till this point.